Welcome back. We are shining our SoCal spotlight on Burbank this Friday.
It's home to studios, stars, and more. KCAL news reporter Sheba Turk live with a look back at its rich and diverse history. Sheba, I love when you take us inside all of this history.
Me too. Listen, I learned so much when we do our SoCal Spotlights, and Burbank has a lot to teach us. It has a history that dates back to the 1850s. We're inside the Gordon R. Howard Museum, which captures a lot of that history, and there's so many great stories here. Kerry Briggs is the Director of Operations for the Burbank Historical Society. He knows all the history. He's taught me so much this morning. Let's start with who Burbank is named after.
Dr. David Burbank. He was a dentist in the late 1850s, and if you had a toothache and you were a miner, you'd pay a lot of gold to get that removed. So that's how he made his money. And he came down here to San Fernando Valley and bought 2 land grants, the San Rafael and the La Providencia. And that's how Burbank started.
Really cool. All right, so take us around here. This is really cool that this is all captured with these beautiful exhibits.
This would have been a parlor in the late 1800s, early 1900s. A piano, a grand piano, but the strings go perpendicular to the keys.
Very cool.
A Jenny Lind bed, which is a famous bed because of the turnings and how it was made.
And why is it important to capture this history in such an elaborate fashion?
So people understand the history of Burbank, and not only the history of Burbank, but the history of Southern California and San Fernando, because of the trade routes and how things happened. We give tours to every 3rd grader in Burbank, gets to come here from Mrs. Howard's grant, and she does all the buses here.
Nice.
And brings the kids.
What are we looking at now?
This would have been a look at the early 1900s of the Verdugo Mountains, just as the Warner Brothers artists depicted it. If you go on the roof, the mountain line looks just like that.
Wow, this is absolutely gorgeous. And then, of course, when we talk about the history of Burbank, we have to talk about Disney.
Right here. Disney started here. Longtime player, big friend of ours. They do a lot of work with us. Burbank was going to be the original home of Disneyland down by the river, but that plan changed and it went to Anaheim, and now they're going to rebuild that site too.
Really cool. All right, let's look at this next exhibit. What is over here?
This is when he was a dentist. This is all his original stuff that was in here. The little girls and the little pain. Burbank was known for wine because of the Italians that lived in Burbank. They all had wineries, and we had big vineyards on the mountains before they turned into homes.
Very nice. And anybody can come visit the Gordon R. Howard Museum and learn more of this history.
Oh yeah, we're open 1 to 4 Saturday and Sunday, and we're all volunteers, and this is all donations, and we just love doing it.
This is very cool. Well, thank you so much for the tour this morning, guys. There's more cool stuff to show you in Burbank. Next up, I'm going to be at a house from 1887 that you could actually order out of a Sears catalog. I'm taking you there at our 9 o'clock hour, so stick with us as we explore Burbank in this morning's SoCal Spotlight.
I'm just picturing you running from horse to museum to donut to all these different places in between your live shots, Sheba. There's so much to explore there. Thank you.
I know. I should have just stayed on the horse. I would have gotten around faster.
Exactly. Dodge the traffic.